Summer said, and I didn't say anything about Medicaid. She literally said Bill Clinton cut Medicaid. Now, if I knew he didn't, so I wanted to go make sure. I look online 10 minutes ago, 12 minutes ago, did Clinton cut Medicaid was my Google search.
Welcome back to the struggle session.
Your facts, you did not say that, Summer. We all heard you.
Not only that, she read us like her correction, and there was no word of a cut. Just more expectations, more metrics, job requirements. And wouldn't they be happy about the immigration stuff that was incorporated in there?
Exactly. Then she tried to reverse it. She tried to act like she didn't say cut. That shit was crazy. It's typical, though. It's always. Is DJ F still here? Like,
Summer doesn't seem like the. I don't remember what she said, but she doesn't seem like the person that's backing down on things that she claims. She seemed to stand on the things that she says. So
I said full steps.
You said what,
no,
ma'am?
you said cut.
You said cut. Double down cutting.
He did.
But then you corrected yourself. You said you corrected yourself, and he said he made changes. But
Well,
there was no like area you highlighted the
She
cuts
said
though.
Medicaid.
Let me finish. I didn't say Medicaid because DJ Fridays was talking about SNAP. Remember, I asked the question from the beginning. What did you feel about SNAP?
So what were the SNAP cuts that he made then?
Girl, if you don't go do your own homework, I don't
You're
know
the
what
one
else
that made
to
the
tell
claim,
you, 'cause I'm not
ma'am.
going- First of
You're
all,
the one that made
sister,
the claim. No,
sister,
no, don't call me girl,
I'm
then
not going
sister.
through this with you.
What?
That's right. You are
You'll
not
go
my
through it with a
sister,
man,
my
right?
sister.
But you'll go through it with a
I'm
man?
done with
Is
it,
that what you do?
girlfriend.
You go
I'm
through it with a
done
man
it.
though, right?
I read it for myself. I
We go
read
through it with a man though. So if you read it, then why can't you reread it for the whole room? Because we want to engage in this conversation.
What I'm
Maybe
going to
we're
do
wrong.
is-
Maybe we're wrong, and we would have.
Maybe you should redirect your whatever you're trying to do
My
with
what?
somebody else, because I'm not going down that
My
road.
dialogue and conversation. Did you come on stage to just yell at us and then leave with your
I'm not
misinformation?
yelling. I said
You
he
are.
revamped full steps, and he did. Now, it doesn't matter whether you like it or not.
Revamp. You
Okay.
said cut.
Cut, revamp, I'm thinking on the same level.
Cut, revamp.
I'm trying to make it seem like
those are
you
not
don't
the
know
same
what I'm
thing.
talking about.
Those are not the same
Hey,
thing.
you know what? You know what is relevant? No,
Y'all
wait.
want to be this
No,
the way you
you
want
know
to
why
be
it's
that
relevant,
way.
Miss Summer?
This
You know
the
why it's
way you
relevant?
want to be that way. It don't make a difference. I'm not gonna go back on what I said. I said
Typical
Stand
Trump
on it.
supporter.
Wait, you know,
Queen.
Wait, you know, excuse me, Keegan. The relevance, Miss Summer, is that if we're making a comparison to what Donald Trump is doing, right, which is what I think your intention was trying to say, like, hey, this has been done before and it had negative impacts as well by Clinton. We're trying to make that comparison. The conversation is about. Why are you interrupting me, ma'am?
Do you remember?
No, I was in high school. I don't remember.
I thought I was
in high school.
a young.
No, I was in high school when Clinton was.
Then what's your argument? Because you don't know
Ma'am, you don't
yourself.
remember what
I
you
don't
said
have an
10
argument.
minutes ago.
I'm trying to
This is why you don't know this is worse than
No, what
that.
we're trying to understand is your comparison. You said Clinton did worse, and we're trying to understand how did he do worse. You made that claim. Maybe they didn't have
The
debate
country
classes.
when you
She
were
said
up
Medicaid.
there. So I'm gonna say it like
All right,
let
let the record show that I just reported John Kitover's page.
I believe we should all do that to all of his, streams because it violates our fair use. I'm giving him any permission to stream anything with my likeness in there, and I don't think anybody else in here has. So John Kitover is like some goofball that sits in his mom's basement every day and just streams our voices and puts it on his YouTube page. If you look in the chat, 6 minutes ago, I posted his page, his channel on YouTube. I think this is what we should do. He's literally streaming, and he just made it private just now to make it hard. But all his page consists of is Clubhouse. So one by one, I think we should all go to his page and have YouTube take it down because I don't give him any consent. I know many of you haven't either.
Do you have his Clubhouse page?
Yeah, he has a bunch. He's a fucking weirdo. He's a bunch of. I'll put some.
Okay.
But his anonymous is the lips down in the see others in the room, the lips. That's him. And you can't kick him out because Clubhouse is allowing this sort of stalker feature, which is a terrible feature. I don't get it.
Yeah, to Kendall, he said it in the chat. It's not copyrighted.
All right, Trent. Cool. All right.
Well, let me explain how you listen. Let me finish.
Nah, fuck that, Trent. I want you to defend the crazy shit you be saying relative to it.
So if you want this gentleman to be taken down, you should write to Clubhouse, and have it be his IP address. He's not violating you as an individual because this is a public forum, but he may be violating some codes in Clubhouse. I don't know. I think he's probably.
I disagree with you, Trent.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think you're right about that. I think this is actually a violation. Like you can't. So, for example, the copyright law specifically in terms of creating content, it has to be transformative in nature. You can't just rip other people's content. It's got to be your own. If you're not transforming the content into your own, it actually is copyright infringement. I don't actually see a way around that.
I'll give that to you.
Yeah, there's actually a big war right now. I don't know if you guys have heard of the channel H3, Ethan Klein.
Yep.
He got them good. He went under Hassan. I'm sure Goat knows Hassan. I'm sure he loves Hassan. But
I hate Hassan.
Because Go is
Hassan is a big old lefty. He's a big old. I don't know. Anyway, so Ethan set it up. He knew that they were just gonna take his material. So he registered. He not only made sure that YouTube, YouTube does what it does, but he registered his video with the federal government. And so when the video that he came out against Hassan, they just said, oh, well, if you guys don't want to contribute monetarily or help Ethan, you can watch the stream ethically on our channel. So there were people who just let the stream go. One girl in particular who just was hitting a bong the whole time. No commentary, no transformative, no nothing. And now he's suing the pants off of these people. And he's got a really good case because they didn't add anything to transform the content. All they did was try to pilfer the views that he would get for the hard work that he did just because they don't like him. People should not be allowed to do that.
Okay.
I just think that's weirdo activities, though. I mean,
We concur. It
go
is
to room to
weirdo.
room just to stalk people. It's just like something is wrong with that. They need to really examine that. You know? Like, how lonely do you have to be in life to do?
And like, what is the point? What is he trying to do?
Or he's trying to make money, build clout. You know. Yeah, it's probably just content. He could. The thing is, you can actually do it in creative ways. Like people do it all the time. Like people make pages where they.
No, don't give him any advice.
He's not gonna do it. I mean, because it's not. Okay, well, all right, it's fine. Summer, I actually wanted to hear you finish and saying what you were saying because I don't know. It seemed like people were just trying to jump you. I didn't
I'm
really hear
good, baby.
you coherent.
I'm done.
Okay.
I wasn't worried about the jump. Guess what? I always come out fighting. I'm good.
Well, Summer got it packed, but so you were saying something about, and I know people in chat warned me about censoring you, but you were saying something about you think that the bill is good.
The bill is good.
The big beautiful bill is good, and we need more military spending. And you agree
No,
with the defense?
I was being facetious, my man. I'm being sarcastic.
Oh,
I think
okay.
yeah, I think the stupidity, and Ghost can call me a run on record, but the stupidity in focusing on the little, and actually the cuts to Medicaid are actually pretty major, but the funding problem is it's not taxes, it's the amount that we spend on defense. When you spend $950 billion on defense, to me that's the real problem. If we were to cut our defense spending, we could cover all these items, and then if we cut it down to $300 billion, we could actually probably have a surplus, and we'd still be spending the most in the world on military. And so when we focus so much of our efforts on military, it impacts the citizen.
Yeah, I agree. Unfortunately, because I ran the numbers, it's not, the military budget is alone not enough to directly cover our complete debt, but reducing it is enough to start programs that will generate a net benefit. That we don't invest enough. It doesn't even make sense. Any other society with our resources would be investing into their youth, trying to create little geniuses, and instead, we know what's going on. So.
Hey, true. Hey, I want to touch on what you just said. You said invest in the young people, but that's not what they're investing in anymore. It's AI, robotics. Humans no longer. It's figuring out a way to alleviate the population, and we saw that when we saw Bill Gates have that. The project where they wanted to make it 500 million people worldwide, like globally. Like this is a population decline, what they want to see is decline. They don't care about humans right now. They looking at it like, motherfuckers, we don't need you.
That's
you know
true.
what I'm saying?
That's true.
We only need you to do the job, like picking stuff and setting it robotic, they're like picking cotton or making, just the shit that the immigrants was doing that they pushed it out. Basically anything that's white collar, anything that's even working in warehouses, driving trucks, whatever it is, AI has to go it. So they're not caring about people. They're not caring about people at all. And the amazing thing is people in America especially are basically rooting for their own demise a lot. Like I see it on this platform where people don't even think practically anymore. They don't even care that it affects them. They're like, I don't give a fuck what it does to me. I'm buying into the rhetoric that they're telling me because I'm already defeated. That's how some of these people think. They don't want to fight the system no more. They just want to succumb to it. And lastly, and I'm going to shut up, it's all I wanted to say. For a society right now that don't believe in God, they're searching so hard for God in a man. They're searching for God in a human being. And so for some of these people, Trump and people like Trump, they feel like it's the closest to God that they can find because he's telling them what to do and bullying them and putting fear in their heart, that they see a human being that they feel like can touch them in a way where he can lock me up. There's no freedom of speech. They can retaliate on me. They can send the people to my doorstep saying that I'm saying the wrong thing about the MAGA regime. It's just people now look to him like a god. There's people on this platform that just pissed at me saying and are ready to get off their butts and push back on me, even though that motherfucker ain't doing nothing for them. Trump is doing nothing for any of these supporters of his on this platform, but yet they will ride and fight